Yo, what's up, guys? Hazard Requiem here. We're at Locals, and we're gonna try to do some war crimes today. Before we get into it, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. Alright, guys, we got our entry pack here. See if we can get anything cool. Obviously looking for Ultimate or Sage, but anything cool. I don't think I need any of the rest of the set, but let's see what we get here. Got Speed Droid, got Aggregator. That's a good card to have. And Chandra, I should need this for my deck. Rarity upgrade, so that's pretty cool. Now, speaking of rarity upgrade, let's get into an overview of the deck we're taking to locals today, and we'll see what I'm playing. Alrighty, guys, so let's just take a look at the list we're going to be taking to locals today, and I'll try to explain as much as I can for you guys. So let's get into it. Alright, so to start off, you're going to be playing the triple copies of your Spectral, or I like its OCG name, the Aurora, but we have Spectral here, so just discard itself and another dragon monster or a light monster to shoot two dragon rulers from your deck to your hand. Usually this card is the card that you're going to be getting hit with Ash Blossom the most often, but it's still a really good card if it manages to resolve. Then one copy of your Nebulous, because it's how you play through Nibiru, as well as the fact that in certain combos where you don't need to establish a lock, you can just get it anyway. One copy of each of the other babies. I've seen a lot of lists playing even 2 or 3, but I feel like 1 is all you really need. I feel like I never really clogged too much on the big ones. And now, of course, you're playing triple copies of all your big ones, so 3 Blasters, 3 Tempest, 3 copies of your Redox, and 3 copies of Tidal. This is a 50 card list, so I don't feel like I clog on them too much. If anything, you can just banish them to search their attribute of Dragon. And again, Quackimiru is the attribute of Tidal, or not Tidal, Tempest rather. So worst case scenario, you have to banish the Tempest, and you can get the Drago to your hand. Because normal summon Drago while going second is actually kind of effective against Mitsurugi. So that's basically main logic behind the 3 of all of them. And of course, the Blaster can search your Tenpai Dragons when it's banished, so getting access to your Blaster is definitely very important. And then, of course, you are playing your 1 copy of Gold Sark to banish your dragons if you need them. Mostly, you're going to be banishing Blaster to search your Fire Dragons, your Tenpai cards. But you can also banish something else. Like I said, you can banish a Tempest if you need the Quackimiru in hand, or anything like that. Of course, you play the 1 Quackimiru and the 1 Sloth. The reason you play 2 is because one of them is to summon off of Chasmatis on your opponent's turn from the graveyard, and the other one is for Sloth. So usually you'll want to go for the Sloth first, and then when they out it, you'll go for the Quackimiru Drago. Or what you could do is just double down on them. You can go Quackimiru from Seals, let your opponent beat over it, and then bring it back at the end of the battle phase. So that's sort of a game 3 tactic that you can sort of take on. That's it for the Floodgates, really. For the Tenpai cards, we just have 2 Doradora and 1 Pydra. You can play around with the ratios of these. You can play 3 Doradora, maybe cut the Sloth. You can play 2 Pydras. Some people play 3 and 3. Especially if you're playing 60 cards, I probably play 3 and 3. But I feel like this is enough. Especially because sometimes you need to side out the normal summons. Genroku is nice. Because Genroku is obviously just another normal summon, but it's also part of the combo. We do play some cards in the extra deck for when you hard draw the Genroku, because that's kind of rough. But of course, the Chandra, mandatory part of the engine. Then double Fadra, because double Fadra, we need one of them to play around Nibiru, and we need the other one to kill on the follow-up. So having 2 of them is pretty important. If I didn't have 2 Fadra, I'd probably have 2 Genroku, but at that point, you're just increasing the size of the Tenpai engine by a lot, and you might as well have more starters instead of just more combo pieces. So that is there, and then of course we have to play our spell cards. So the field spell, which we can pop for extra damage, and it protects our dragons, as well as the Sangen Kaiman. So that is the Tenpai engine. And that is pretty much the core of the deck, so let's get into some non-engine. We got 3 Droll and Lockbird, 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Nibiru, 3 copies of Salesman in the main deck, which is kind of our spicy little tech for this format. Well, it's pretty cool. You can just use it to call like the name of a boss monster, and they're basically just dead. You can call Detonator, and sure, they could pop itself and revive it with twins, but they can't use it afterwards, so they can't protect it. So you can easily beat over it, which is really nice. And then obviously for everything else, Droll is just really nice this format. It can kill a lot of stuff. Mitsurugi's kind of weak to it. Ash Blossom, it stops all the mulch armies, so it's just kind of mandatory. Nibiru is really nice because the Omni Negates are slowly sort of exiting the game. So you definitely want to be able to Nibiru people. And a lot of decks are sort of weak to it. 2 copies of Ghost Bell because, decks do graveyard things nowadays, and it's nice to be able to stop them just enough of the time, but I felt like 2 was enough. I tried 3 a while ago, it didn't really seem to work that well. I would see it too much. We have double copies of Flawless because I randomly pulled 2 of them out of Stampede, and I was like, let me chuck this in the deck. But yeah, I only have 2. If I find a third one, then I'll probably put it in for, I don't know, like 1 Nibiru or something. But we have a Magnemut, obviously, it's a dragon deck. Let's go, and if your hand is like 4 hand traps and a Magnemut, you can just go Magnemut in the end phase and then search again Roku and then just start playing the game, which is really nice. And then last non-engine is your 1 talent and your 1 called by the grave. Obviously, just go first to win button cards. So let's see what we can do in locals. Alrighty guys, so this locals had 5 rounds, and the feature match we're going to have today is from round 3. We're playing against Sky Striker Malice, and it was probably one of the best games I've ever had against any variant of the Malice deck at all. Usually I'm just completely blown out of the water, but this time I managed to have a really good game against them. So let's see what happens when we start playing the game. So we'll get to finally win a dice roll after like what it feels like months of losing dice rolls. So we actually win the dice roll, and we are going to be going first. We have our lucky Pokemon dice here from the League Battle decks, and we're gonna go first. And our hand is going to be pretty insane. Alright, so let's just speed this up a little bit for you guys. We're going to start off with a Gold Sark, banishing, of course, the Blaster to be able to search the Genroku from deck to hand. I'm not sure if this was a mistake, or if we should have searched Pydra or even Dora, but it does go through. We do get the Pydra here, and then from the Pydra we get the Kaiman, and then Kaiman is going to get us the Chandra, and the Chandra is going to special itself from hand. I think this was kind of a mistake because we missed out on making 1 Synchro 7. So we actually had to use another Dragon Ruler to be able to extend further, which is a little bit unfortunate. We had to banish stuff with the block to get our second level 7. If we went through the Dora play, then we wouldn't have to do that. I think I was trying to play on Droll or something, but I have no idea how I would have done that. So I think we're just going to overlay here. We're going to send for cost the title, and then that's going to dump our floodgate of choice, which is going to be the Kwakemiru. And then we're going to title to summon, and then these 2 will make Heretic Seal. I think we could have ended on an extra rank 7 if we didn't start with the Genroku. We should have probably just added Dora, and then we just would have had an extra body. But we do immediately tag out the seal when he targets it with the Afterburners. And then he keeps going. He goes Engage, and we will. He goes Talents to be able to take, actually, and then he goes for the field spell, the Malice field spell. He beats over the Sloth, and we just go get him too, because I'm like, okay, this is definitely not enough. But now we know what we're up against, so we're actually going to be able to side deck here. I'm going to be putting in all my Go First cards, including my Thrusts and my Lancias and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I don't play Crossout for Lancia, so I do get hit with Lancia a few times, like this locals, but I don't think I got hit with Lancia this match, though. And then I also have some stuff like Daruma Karma Cannon. I know Malice struggles against that. I also have like 1 copy of Strike in my side deck because I'm honestly just trying to figure out what my side deck is gonna be from now on. But I also have Lava Golems in there, but I'm deciding to go first, so I don't really need those. Anyway, we're gonna draw here, and this time we're going to start out with some Dragon Rulers from my hand, including a Blaster. So we're probably going to get to search again Roku again. I feel like, again, this was probably a mistake. We should have searched the Dora, because this play loses to Droll, whatever, it doesn't matter what we search, it just loses to Droll anyway. So, I feel like it was sort of a mistake to search for the Genroku, unless, like, we would have had an extra body and been able to, like, seal his path or something. We make our monsters in defense this time to play around Lightning Storm, because, you can never be too safe But then we summon the title. We go Poetic Seal. We end on the same board. I feel like it would have been probably again if we would have been able to end on the Eclipse, it probably would have been a little better. And then here he summons in defense position, which is definitely a blunder on his part because he knows we're going for the floodgate. He knows whatever we summon off Poetic Seal is gonna be 0/0. So he could have probably anticipated to beat over it. He didn't really have talents this time. So he was going to he just Raigeki'd, which is really funny. But again, we get the guy from grave, and we get the guy from deck. We summon the Radox from deck. I think I forgot that it zeroes out the defense as well, so I thought we had a 3,000 defense guy. But he beats over with a Link Monster, and then he just keeps going into all of his mouse plays. He goes SP here. I think he's sort of out of names until he uses the March Hare in hand, and then he sort of just keeps going with Malice in the Mirror, keeps banishing everything. Um, he can Malice in the Mirror because we're not our effects are not negated. We're just 0/0. He goes the Ransom here for the field spell, gets more banishes, and then I think at some point he uses the trap, and then we're just gonna let the Malice turn come to an end here. We'll jump back when he's done. Alrighty, so eventually he just gets to both Link Monsters on board without an extra body, so he can't really go into the Heart's Cryptor. But he does. I think he has the he either has a terraforming or thrusts for it, but he gets to terraforming for an extra field spell and passes. So we summon the title here, and he doesn't do anything, so we can just free the overlay. For I think we're making Eclipse here, or we want to make Eclipse because it'll negate the back row, as well as if he has March Hare in hand, if he's gonna banish another rabbit to try to set another one. So yeah, here we just overlay into. Oh no, we just go Chasmatus again. I think we're trying to, depending on what we send for cost here. I'm not sure. We send Tempest to be able to search a card. Then he brings back with the trap card, gain some life points. Then he's gonna be able to banish from deck and then summon another one. So again, Malice playing on your turn is kind of crazy. We are gonna try to establish a Zeus here because we do have an Exceed monster, and then we can play with our other Dragon Rulers because we only use Title this turn. We haven't used any of the other ones. So we're going to be able to do that. And here we activate Talents to take the Red Ransom so that the attack modulation doesn't work anymore. And then we just normal summon Fadra and go battle phase. And then we start doing Tenpai Dragon stuff. So we summon another Fadra from deck. I think that was a mistake. I think we were supposed to summon I think we should have played a second Pydra to summon the second Pydra from deck. But then he just scoops because he knows where this is going. But yeah, that was game 2. We'll meet back for game 3. Sort of in terms of siding, I leave the Lancia and the Thrust in, and I just take out the 2 or 3 go first cards, and then I just I take out the floodgates and I put in the lava golems as well as the lightning storms, and I think that's all that there really is to be said about siding for going second in this matchup for me. But let's I power shuffle here because I really don't want to brick. But usually power shuffling is leads to my demise. So I don't usually like doing it, but let's see what happens in game 3. Alrighty, so in game 3, he's going to be going first, and he starts off by searching some stuff with the Engage. He only has Sky Striker cards, it looked like, so we're just going to be playing against Sky Striker for the most part here. So he just goes Shizuku, End Phase, grab a Multi-Roll, and then pass turn, which isn't really that much of a problem for us. What we're gonna do here, unfortunately we have to normal summon Genroku. That's the third game in a row it's been in our hand. So we might have to play with our ratios a little bit to see if we can see Genroku a little bit less. We just go Pydra, go battle phase, add the thing, yeah, that's basically this game. But we're I forget that he has the attack modulation for a second. So we just Kaiman for Chandra. We have to go through. So both of them are on board. So now we take no damage and we can't be destroyed by battle. but now we just get to synchro, bring back, punch over, synchro again if we want to. Because remember, the dragons themselves have an effective synchro. They don't have to include themselves in the synchro summon, I don't think. So that's about it. We just synchro for the big guy, punch. I think I whiffed game here by summoning Chandra. I probably should have summoned Fadra to make the level 3 into the Trident Dragon, and then that would have been game. So I do whiff game here by like kind of a lot. So I'd make Heretic Seal and pass, which is kind of unfortunate. But again, it's just Sky Striker cards. So he's gonna activate Engage. He's gonna be able to draw one, which is not that bad. He's gonna add the Afterburners, like he has for most of the game. He's gonna target the seal, chain the seal, bounce the multi-roll. We're going to summon from the deck. Forget what we summoned. If we summoned, we don't summon anything. We just summon the we summon the Redox again, and then he activates the field spell, and we train Lancia. So that is gonna be the game. Lancia is a crazy card, and that was one of my best games against Malice that I've ever had. So let's briefly check in with the other rounds to see what happened. So, that was round 3, our main feature match. This was actually round 1. We did lose the dice roll to Blue Eyes, and he was going first. He did just set 3 cards and pass, but then he had Super Poly. And even so, we're somehow able to push through it, even after getting our 10 by OTK stopped by the Blue Eyes trap card. All I could really do was activate Roar for a Blue Eyes on his turn. And then make a Typhon, and then we just kill the Typhon, and that was basically it. So we won round 1. Game 2, he sort of bricks again. He just sets 1 and passes. But then when we activate the Wind guy to summon from the deck, he Lancias us. So he sort of buys himself an extra turn. But eventually, he does start playing the game because his one back row was a True Light, and he had a Loazy Load in hand. So he's able to start playing the game. However, we do end up Nibiruing him, and it is kind of funny because neither of us had a token, so we just decide to use my extra deck box as a Nib token, which is extremely funny. After this, my phone actually died right after round 3, actually, so I wasn't able to capture anything else. I did play against 2 other Malice players, which I did lose to. For those of you who don't know, Malice is an extremely difficult deck to go second against, and even just an incredibly difficult deck to beat in general. I forget what my last matchup was, but I know I played against at least 3 Malice, 1 Blue Eyes, and 1 other matchup. Anyway, guys, I'm pretty happy with my performance, and that's gonna pretty much do it for this video. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe for more locals videos like this one, maybe some deck profiles and more competitive content in the future, when I get around to it. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.